Tonight on The Real Hustle, it's daylight robbery for this woman.
I paid 60 quid for it, and you're telling me it's worth 3.
Find out how not to lose all your cash in one easy bump.
I hadn't got my wallet with me. I had just this piece of paper.
And there's a scam to relieve you of a car and your money while you're home alone.
I'm still shaking, I can't believe this.
This is The Real Hustle. We're going to uncover the secrets behind the most popular scams being carried out by con artists in Britain today. Our real hustlers are Alex, a confidence trickster; Jess, a sexy swindler; Paul, a scam artist. They've been travelling the UK to demonstrate to our hidden cameras exactly how the cons work. All the people in this show have been hustled for real, and after being given their money back, they agreed that the footage could be shown, so you can avoid being ripped off by the same scams.
A while ago, a friend of mine told me an amusing story of an estate where everybody was wearing exactly the same make of brand new white trainers. And what was more interesting than that was the way those trainers were acquired. Now, this is known as van dragging.
Van dragging can range from the sublime, which is the hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of state-of-the-art computer equipment, to ridiculous, which is a Christmas load of turkeys going missing.
Here's how the villains operate van dragging. It's early morning in a city backstreet. These CCTV cameras are guarding the loading bay doors that serve a major electrical goods store. The real hustlers arrive for the start of today's scam. Jess scribbles 2 identical notes. One note is stuck to each loading bay door. So why do the team want delivery drivers to ring their number? Here's the answer. The team are going to park in the best place to observe the comings and goings in the street. The boys will wait out of sight while Jess keeps a lookout for any arrivals at the targeted loading bay. If a van does turn up, hopefully the driver will read Jess's sign and call her. She'll then send in Alex and Paul after convincing the driver to hand over the goods to her warehouseman. The hustler's van is parked here, enabling Jess to keep surveillance. Alex and Paul unload their trolley. They will keep out of sight here. But the plan might come unstuck. Jess doesn't know it yet, but this is her delivery van arriving. It's early and it's turned the wrong way up the dead-end street. This is dangerous. It's going to pass right by Alex and Paul's hiding place. The driver will be looking everywhere for his loading bay, and if he spots the boys hiding, it will blow their cover. The delivery van comes back down, and now Jess realises what's happening. Did the driver see Paul and Alex?
Oh yes, he's pulled up right next to the door. Fantastic.
He's going for his mobile. Jess must now play her role.
Hello, how can I help?
Yeah, hi, we've got a delivery for you. We're outside, yeah?
Oh, right, okay, we're actually having problems with the door. Are you outside right now?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to send a couple of guys round just to help. Okay, they're on the way now. Thanks, bye. Boys?
Come in.
Ready, go for it.
We're on our way.
The driver is taken in and unloads his cargo, £10,000 worth of widescreen TVs. Meanwhile, the boys have come out of hiding. They're about to find out if they were seen or not.
You for 24, mate? We're waiting for a locksmith. Be about half an hour.
Yeah? Sorry,
yeah, we got to
get the door
cart this around.
today. Guys,
what we got?
Around. Is that it?
The driver's fallen for it. He couldn't have seen them. Jess can afford a sigh of relief.
Where'd you want it, anyway?
Paul signs for the delivery and joins Alex in loading up their booty.
You dead? Yeah. Go the other side.
Hang on a minute, mate.
Wait a minute.
Incredibly, the driver hasn't suspected a thing. Not the crudely written note, nor the phone call, or even Alex and Paul decked out in fluorescent jackets and homemade security IDs. His load has been hijacked, and he doesn't even know it.
I'm having this one.
Jesse, we're ready for our van.
Well, how many? Let's have a look. Way. Nice. I'll get the doors, yeah.
Said you had somebody who could buy one of these.
It's time to load up and get away. This was no violent robbery, but a terrifyingly simple con trick that has stolen £10,000 worth of goods under the unsuspecting gaze of CCTV and under the nose of a professional delivery driver.
A gang of criminals will give you any reasons why you can't deliver to your drop-off address or location. They'll say that the forklift has broken down, the warehouse floor is flooded, or any other reason. The way to avoid it is to check with your own company, ring through to see if that's the case, and double-check with the reception of the company that you're delivering to.
This next hustle is about overhearing a telephone conversation and a bargain that's too good to be true. This is the eavesdrop cell. We're at a London market where Jess has set up what appears to be an antique store. But in fact, the most expensive thing is worth only £3. The aim of the game is to make a huge profit. Paul is going into this busy cafe. Inside, these two women are about to overhear a telephone conversation about an absolute bargain Paul's just spotted.
100.
Alex is in position and ready to receive Paul's call. Remember, it's the two women who will think they are the ones who are hustling.
Hello, Paul. Alex, mate. Hello, mate. You are not going to believe what I just saw.
Paul makes sure the women can overhear everything he says.
Remember that plate? Remember that really expensive plate that we saw?
Expensive plate. That's got the women's attention.
Right. Yeah, it was the Hollingworth Blueware, yeah?
The Hollingworth Blueware.
Yeah, it had the wavy outside. It was like
Wavy
it was like £800 at the auction.
Paul describes the plate and makes it clear that it was worth £800 at an auction.
I've got no money. There's one in the market. She wants 60 quid for it. 60 quid?
Now he's made sure that the women know that it's possible to buy the plate for £60.
Basically, you know where the Halifax and the Greggs the Bakers are?
The Greggs the Bakers,
she's right in front of there. Are you going to be able to
And finally, he's explained where to find this bargain.
I guarantee we'll sell. I'm going to go.
Now the two marks have all the information they need to go out and make a fast buck.
Well, it's on about some plate that's worth a lot of money and it's only 60 quid.
Right, I think Paul's roped somebody, so Yeah, I think they're going to be coming down that way.
We could try and sell it if it looks good, but let's go and suss it out anyway.
Having been suckered into the scam, the two women follow Paul's instructions to the stall to find what they think is the easiest £740 they will ever make.
Hello. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How much is this plate?
60.
Can we have a look at it?
Yeah, of course you can.
Have a look at it, please.
Here you go. It's quite nice, actually.
Do you know anything about them?
Absolutely nothing.
Had a bit of interest already this morning, that plate.
Have you?
Yeah. People have been asking about it. I mean, there's actually a gentleman who came down earlier. I don't know where he's gone, but he was going to come back. So if it's like a race against time, I don't know.
But I could be 20 towards it.
You going to take it?
All right, go for it.
There you go. Go on. I'd be more lucky.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks ever so much. Cheers. Have a lovely day. Bye.
£57 profit for just 5 minutes work. Now it's Alex's turn to hustle.
Do you remember that plate I sold in the store last...
And of course, there are plenty of plates to sell to the people who eavesdrop on our phone calls. So, what do the two women think they've picked up?
An antique plate.
Oh, don't drop
On
it.
here. That's it there. Just really like the look of it.
Telling the truth. That guy.
Well, we actually overheard a conversation of a guy when we were in the cafe who was talking about this plate, and apparently it's worth a lot more money than we paid for it, so we thought it was worth the risk. We're going to try and sell it.
So, how do they feel now they know what's happened?
You're kidding. A bit silly. Totally foolish.
Set up, I expect.
Set up.
The eavesdrop scam works on two levels, basic greed and what we call the scarcity principle. Now the two ladies over here, Paul on the phone, there's an opportunity to make some money. We're always looking to make a quick buck. The second level it works on is the scarcity principle. They know that this opportunity will only be open for a short amount of time before the other person comes along with the money, so they quickly hot-foot it down and buy the plate without really thinking through the consequences.
Coming up, the real hustlers are going to relieve someone of thousands of pounds in a daring barefaced scam. The real hustlers are going to show you how to get free drinks off your mates by using proposition bets on some unsuspecting customers in this local pub. The proposition bet suckers you in as it's a bet on an event or an outcome that you believe can only go one way. And it always does go one way, the hustler's way. So watch and learn. These lads are enjoying a drink down their local pub, but Jess has marked them out to buy her, Alex and Paul, the next round. For this proposition bet, she's going to be using her feminine charms, a hat and a straw.
Oh, you're running a bit late. Do you want another drink? I'll tell you what, I've got a challenge for you. And if I can do it, then you buy me and my two friends a drink. And if I can't do it, then I'll buy you three a drink. Yeah? See it? Okay, my challenge is that I can drink this shot from under this hat without touching, lifting or moving the hat. Think you could do it?
Go for it.
Think I can do it? No. Do you think I can do it?
Jess is convincing. It seems like an impossible task.
If I can't do it, I'll buy you.
Are you allowed to touch the hat?
I can't touch the hat.
Well, as it is now, you're not allowed to touch it.
No, I'm not allowed. I'm not going to touch that hat at all.
Go for it.
You want to see it? Okay.
The lads have been taken in and accept the bet of a round of
I'm not
drinks.
going to use the straw to lift the hat, but I am going to use the straw to drink it.
Shut.
Okay, so I'll have a pint and Alex and Paul will have a couple as well.
Right.
Thank you.
Prove it, go on.
I've done it.
Lift the hat.
I don't need to lift the hat. I've done it, so I know.
I need proof. Lift the hat.
Can you lift the hat?
I'm still there.
She's drunk the drink without lifting the hat, and in typical hustler fashion collects her winnings.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
I've run out of money.
I don't care who's buying. I'm not buying.
That's all it is. Hello, son. Stupid trick, and
Very often in public places, you get signs or announcements warning of pickpocket activity. Now, people's natural reaction to that is just to pat themselves down, make sure that their wallets and their valuables are still in place. Now, you've just identified to a pickpocket where all your valuables are.
Every day, thousands of people travel through train stations, making it a treasure trove for pickpockets, as they know that each and every person will either have a wallet, a suitcase, or a work bag with them. Alex and Paul are both busy casing the joint, looking for a potential mark. Pickpockets often like to work in pairs, with one looking for the target and the other doing the lift. Despite the amount of bags that are being left exposed in this station today, the boys are looking to lift a wallet. And all they need to perform this hit is a piece of newspaper and some chalk. This is known as the Phantom Wallet. For this hit to work, Alex must be able to identify a person who keeps their wallet in their back pocket. Alex has spotted someone patting his back pocket and moves in. Now it's Alex's job to make sure Paul knows who the target is and where the wallet is. And this is done with the age-old trick of using a bit of chalk. This man has now become the mark. This technique of using chalk to mark a target is where the term originated from. Alex has done his job, now it's Paul's turn. He's spotted the mark, and he knows that the wallet will be in his right pocket as Alex has placed the chalk deliberately on his right shoulder. Paul has to size up the shape of the wallet. The aim is to replace the mark's wallet with a piece of folded newspaper of the same size without him noticing. One bump is all it takes. If you missed it like the mark did, here it is again. No sooner has the wallet been taken from the mark's pocket, Paul deposits it in Alex's umbrella, and they both make a quick getaway. The mark now has a worthless piece of paper in his back pocket, but it still feels like he's got his wallet. And it's only when he tries to buy something that he finds out that he's been robbed.
Somebody pushed me. And then I thought I wanted some water, so I went to the shop to buy a bottle of water. And suddenly, when I went to pay for it, I hadn't got my wallet with me. I had just this piece of paper. At first, I thought I had to drop it or something, but later I was thinking about everything. I realized maybe it was this guy who pushed me.
If you want to keep your wallet, don't put it in your back pocket. It's one of the easiest places to steal from. And if someone invades your personal space, think, could they have stolen something? And if you have to check your property, always remember someone might be watching. Out of sight, out of mind, out of pocket. For
this hustle, Jess has placed an advert in the local paper. for a car at a bargain price to draw in a mark.
Hello.
Hi, I'm phoning up about the advert for the car.
You know what the best thing to do if you want to come down and have a look at it?
Okay,
That'd probably be the best thing.
Of course, our hustlers have no intention of selling a car. They're only after the money.
The scam relies on front. The mark has to believe we are who we say we are.
There are three important elements to this scam. The mark has to have a reason to bring his money. He then has to give us that money. Then he has to let us walk away.
Leaving the mark home alone. Alex, Jess and Paul have found an ideal property they know will be empty for the afternoon, and they know how to gain entry to a house.
Right. Key. Remember, keep the phone off the hook. Right. See you in a minute. See you when you get the cash.
Alex and Paul make themselves scarce, while Jess gets on with rigging the spy cameras to record today's hit.
Find yourself a girl and settle down. Live a simple life in a quiet town. Steady as she goes. Steady as she goes.
The mark arrives.
A big one.
Jess calls up the boys so they can eavesdrop on her progress.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Tracy.
He gets down to business and checks out the car for sale.
It's a bit messy. If you want us to give us a little hoover before, then
He seems happy enough and goes ahead with the purchase.
There's so much trouble getting here anyway.
It's important that Jess gets him inside the house to complete the transaction. But he doesn't realise that Alex and Paul are listening to everything that's said and are about to turn up posing as policemen.
I think he's about to...
It's all right, don't worry. I'll just put the count out.
Any other warrant?
Jess takes the mark's money and goes to put it away in the drawer. But in reality, she pockets it.
You sure you don't want a drink or something?
The offer of a drink is the cue for the boys to ring the doorbell.
Hang on, 2 seconds. I might be them just now.
Tracy Rutherford.
Yeah?
I'm D.I. Steele. This is D.S. Mosley. We've got a search warrant for these premises.
I think you've got the
Let
wrong
my colleague
house.
through.
Anybody else here, Tracy?
No.
As Jess lets the boys in, she passes the money to Alex, leaving Paul to intimidate the mark.
I'm D.S. Mosley. We're here to search these premises for stolen goods. What's your name?
You've got the wrong house!
Failed to mention it.
Alex
my
makes sure the
God.
mark can see that Jess has been arrested for having a stolen car, which he's just paid thousands of pounds for in cash.
Well, when Johnny gets back...
Do you have any ID?
Right, get in the car.
Their part over, Alex slips out of character as Jess slips out of the handcuffs. Alex checks the ill-gotten gains.
You came to pick up a car. Do you know it's illegal to buy anything that you know or suspect to be stolen?
Believing Paul to be a real policeman, the mark is frightened that he too will be arrested and complies with Paul's instructions.
All right, I'll check your story. If everything checks out, it'll be fine. Put your hands on the table. If you move, I'll arrest you. Do you understand? Stay there. Don't move.
The team drive away confident the mark will stay put. The mark is now home alone, and the minutes begin to tick by. After 10 minutes, the mark still hasn't moved. He is totally convinced by the team's play acting. Nearly 20 minutes have elapsed since the team drove off, and the mark's curiosity gets the better of him, and he goes to investigate. face says it all. The truth slowly dawns on him. The car's gone, and so has his money. He came to buy a car. He gave the money to a friendly Jess, who was arrested as a car thief, and he was told to stay put by a police detective. Nothing is as it seems, apart from him being down thousands of pounds, courtesy of the real hustle. It's time for the Mark to find out what's really happened.
So I'm shaking, I'm still shaking, I can't believe this. She just made me feel comfortable, and I sat down, I thought I was really relaxed. And the next thing I knew, doorbell rang, and 5-0. It's scary though, it's very scary, and I mean, if it can happen to somebody in real life, then I don't want to be that person again, definitely not.
If this guy was really being conned, things would get a lot worse, because the first thing we'd do as we drove away is we'd call the police. Remember, this guy's alone in someone else's house without their permission. Who's going to believe his story about 3 hustlers in a car?
Also remember, if you find yourself in an unusual situation and you do get confronted by the police, don't be afraid to check who they are. Ask them for a telephone number where you can call and find out if they are who they say they are. If they're genuine, they should let you do that. Like us.
Be careful of who you listen to, and remember, if something seems too good to be true, then it probably is.
Well, coming up next on BBC Three, the lovely Jonathan Ross has some Japanorama for us. And then later we go MI5, not 9 to 5. I can't stop saying that. It spooks.